right, guys. Ah, welcome back to another episode of the Stanley Parable. And I would just like to thank Davey Warden for making this game because this game is, well, funny as hell. Happy to be back. Not technically the first of the month, it's the fourth, but I checked back and actually the last episode. I figure this game's a good like monthly basis to come check in on. It's a nice in all honesty, it's one of the things like and there's a specific reason I started this then, because I swear to God, this is different too. What the hell? Excuse me. I don't know. I guess there. We'll go there. Please, yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like before, you had to adjust the time. All right, they are best friends. Until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Oh Jesus. 9. This is just until you. All right, I'm Googling these. Where the hell's my phone? All right, hold on, guys. I'm looking this up now. Um, yes, we are looking this up. Most other people might. All right, what is Aku Boinkel? Is that the? How the hell do you say that? The objectively. Okay, I Google it in the Urban Dictionary. Aku Boinkel, the objectively greatest made-up word in the history of made-up words. That's the UrbanDictionary.com, people. And we're gonna look up the other one. What is a scrum tush? Is that also a word? No, that's also not a word. Oh, Urban Dictionary again. Something that is good or bad, maybe neither. Who knows? So, okay, I'm not okay. Picking the middle one. Please don't adjust. Okay, I will not. Yes, I do. And it goes back to this every time because it asks you what the time is, and I said it right every single fucking time. Yes, I know what time it is right now. Is the time that is right now? Yes. Well, I can't answer. That's not a. What time is it anyway? Yes or no? That's not a. What the fuck? No. Is there anything? What the hell do you need to know? Uh, eh, yes. Help. Help what? Okay, yes. Will you come back to visit? I have like every time. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Finally in the game. Um, this is the story of a man named Stephen. Yeah, sure. It's Stephen this time. I'd have to look
All of
back
his co-workers were
and
gone.
remember the
What could it
number
mean?
the
Stanley
Squid
decided to
Game
go to
guy
the meeting
was.
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
420. It's not that time, but that's a nice time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
Um,
entered the door on his left.
mm, mm, mm. Okay, fine, you got me. Where the hell are we going anyway?
Yet
Back
there was
here?
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
Get
disbelief,
Chris out of
Stanley
the...
decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
The future was yesterday. Tomorrow... okay, these are all... Okay, then I'm just gonna leave. Is Chris in here? Chris!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Chris! Chris isn't here. I'll close that now.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I guess, fine. Where's Chris? I need to know where Chris is now. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Okay then. Can't open that door. My boss isn't here.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Till you told me, so...
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing.
Well,
He
no, you
stepped
just
into
told
the
me,
newly
dumbass.
opened passageway.
Oh. Where are we going? I'll be blunt, guys. I have no idea if
Descending
like...
deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay. I'll be blunt.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
entirely
door
remember.
that read Mind Control Facility.
If I remember correctly, I do remember event. Like I think I've gone that way, and there's been a couple recordings where I did do like the big main ending to the game. There.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
And would say something about how some people think the government actually does this. But isn't this literally what the NSA is designed to do?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building.
Oh, that guy's
Stanley's
fired.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced
fired.
to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
I don't know,
No.
dude.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Oh my God.
It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or
The
content.
ring.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would
I see.
dismantle the controls once and for all.
You know, because I remember doing the main ending to this game, but I think either that file got corrupted, because I don't... You know what? Let's turn it off. Turn it off! No more!
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Was it?
Yes.
Oh!
He had
Yay!
won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Yeah, where
How
was
had
Chris?
he been
Where'd
freed
Chris
from
go?
the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
All right.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Let's get the hell out of here.
The feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
I see.
And Stanley
So all this arguing
was
with the
happy.
narrator. This is what he wanted us to do. You know what? That was nice. That was nice. So I guess that's like the real true ending to the game. And we're back here. You know, I know that's the end. Um, but in all honesty, yeah, I'll be honest. I have a
All
feeling
of
there's
his
more.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content? What?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
This DLC? Where the hell are we going? Whoa. This is an ending I've never seen.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh,
As
wow.
you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very
Why
excited
does
to
this
see
feel
the
like Nuka
thrilling new
World?
Ultra Deluxe content.
I swear to God.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
No, they're just gonna lock me in here. Son of a bitch.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay, Stanley, let's find some new content. The jump.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, wow. I can jump now. I'm spamming this so goddamn hard. Yeet, 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 yeet. I'm calling this the yeet circle. Oh, fuck you. Well, that's just depressing.
Is that it?
It's a circle that
Surely
lets
that's not all the new content. There has to be something else,
Okay,
right?
let's get back in the elevator.
Another
Maybe there's more.
Stanley,
Maybe there's gotta be more.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay. Thank you for... Oh.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them
that's not Twitter anymore.
Accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always.
Okay.
What do you say, friend?
Okay. That's cool. Oh, shit. Where'd he go?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Oh, God. Where have I gone? Wait a minute.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap Xbox port?
Oh, wow.
Remember back
Fuck
in
you.
October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
They literally... It says The Last of Us beneath it. It's just Stanley... Wow, that's funny as hell. Yes. Smile because it happened. And then there's just, of course, there's the picture of Stanley dead on the sidewalk. Apparently that's his favorite.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable.
Don't read any
stunning
reviews
triumph
except
of
this one.
games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
Wow.
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
Oh, come on.
It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk. With an
What's
hour
all this?
of new
Well, this is content. Is this not content? The original remake. Oh. I can't. Okay, we got it.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
They're getting worse.
The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game.
They actually have a
9 out of
GameSpot
10.
article.
Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
Or it's not like the French
All they had
flag.
to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the Xbox. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Well, what the... Now, game. How do you... I can't jump now. Narrator.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
I can't go in the serious room.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online
Pressurized
storefront
Gas
for
for
computer
reviews?
games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, no. It's
Honestly,
Steam.
I could not be bothered to play this game to
wait,
full
Pressurized
completion.
Gas.
The narrator is
Right.
obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
There's a good one there.
I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Something out that way. Can't go through there. Oh no, another one.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for
It's only
someone who
for
prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to
It's
be
a good
honest, I
review,
had
but it's
always
flipped up.
thought of the
Wow.
game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not
Okay, you realize I'm just going to do that to you the whole
negative
time, right?
reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto.
What in the hell is this?
Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go. Oh, you're back, you see? You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time
you
for
gotta
me
be
to
kidding me.
deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've
Yep.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. It's not unendurable by any means, but it's...
Skip it.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room.
What's behind here?
Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times.
How did you let the door go missing, you dumbass?
No door, Stanley. There's no door. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through.
Damn, okay. Oh, shit.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to
He's
have a
back.
point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
Okay, so this is the bit they're doing.
Is never the end, 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 is.
Rain is starting to get in. Oh my. Oh my. Man, this ending's so... Oh, Jesus. This ending's so long, I might end up just turning into a couple parts. I mean, Jesus. Okay, what's next? Shit again. Okay. Okay. Shit. Oh no. Oh, Christ. Um... Okay, then. It's time to go. Where am I going? I don't know. I'm a cactus and I belong in a desert. Um... I have no idea if this is the end at this point. I think it must be. Yep. Yep. All right. Cool. Huh. Okay. Well, in all honesty, guys, I'm gonna give a little bit of a review here now. 'Cause I have no idea how many more endings there are. I know there's at least a couple more, depending on the ways we did stuff, but I'll have to go back and look at the episodes I already did. Um, I guess for a little bit of a review here, I don't know too many games that would be willing and have the sort of ability to narrate themselves like that. Um, and I think it's kind of apropos we did what the intended ending was supposed to be, and then you just see this door for new content. You're like, oh shit. You know, initially that kind of sucked. Um, Mostly because I think they were playing it up, but regardless, I didn't think the Ultra Deluxe Edition had new content. I'm glad it did. I may, I, I know there's at least a couple more endings to this game, so but I don't know how many more we actually have. Um, so if this ends up being like the sort of ending where, or like that episode we talk about the ending and how this game really did, um, I know it's kind of weird for like the middle of the series, but um, more than pleasantly surprised was was my take on that. Like, I mean, just like I said there, how you don't see many games that are so openly willing to look at like how do you incorporate negative comments literally into your own game? And they had a lot of positive comments in there too. They just didn't bother reading them off. Um, but I guess in the end, I digress, guys. If you like this episode and you want to see more stuff like this, feel free to leave a like and consider subscribing. Um, check out any other. Feel free to check out any other stuff I've been doing. Like with or without my buddy Warrior. Um, and if I should be making at least one more episode of the Stanley Parable, but yeah, just what an amazing game. Like, damn. Um, but anyways, thanks again, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode of the Stanley Parable, or if not, next episode of whatever else I'm doing. Until then, have a nice day, everybody.